Hello and welcome to SideQuest, episode number 148, 1st of August.
It is August.
That's, we're in the middle of summer.
We are. It's hot.
Hot and fires and
hot.
Everything going on. Briar's biking outside.
Like 78 degrees out. It's actually really pleasant.
Oh, that's nice.
Gorgeous.
I never know how to convert 78. What's 78 in English?
Hey, carry the 2, divide the 4, so the 55 Celsius, 28.
28. That's not so bad.
I actually don't know if it's 28 Celsius.
Alexa, what's 74 degrees Fahrenheit in Celsius?
This is a live Alexa.
23.
23 degrees.
Oh, that is a nice temperature. I can agree. I can get behind that.
Like, I agree. That's good. That's nice.
That's the thing. At first I hear it and I'm like, this sounds real hot. I don't like it. And I'm like, oh, actually, this is okay. I can deal with that.
Okay, question, Erics. When are your thermostats rated on per click of the Celsius, or do you have subdivisions of each Celsius number? Because it sounds like if you go from 23 Celsius to 24 Celsius, that's a considerable jump in temperature, right?
It is quite a jump, although I will hold my hand up and say I haven't actually looked at my thermostat. I don't think ever. I don't think I look at the dial. I'm just like,
never.
No,
the temperature.
If you do, you just spin it and just that's about right.
Oh, you guesstimate? You're like, spin the thermostat?
Stopped. You know what? With my homework, between now and next week, I'm going to go and look at the thermostat and I'll report back.
Nice.
Okay, yeah. We need
because the difference between 72 and 73, each click of a Fahrenheit can be a significant amount of change for how you overall feel. So I imagine Celsius is just, widely swinging back and forth.
Have you ever had a thermostat that goes 74.1, 74.2, 74.3? I don't need that amount of graduation. I had one. It was the first digital thermostat I had, the first programmable thermostat I had. I installed it into my house, and I was like, not only did it do that, but it forced it.
Wow.
So if you clicked individually and you wanted to go from 74 degrees to 68 degrees, that's 40 clicks of the button.
That's a pain in the ass.
So the solution to that is you hold it down and it would start slow, but then start to accelerate to the point where it's going so fast that you can't really judge where you're at. So you're constantly playing this game with this stupid thermostat where you're overshooting the temperature. There's no reason to have 0.1 degrees.
I feel like the only people that would have something like that will be criminals. People that need to keep something at a very particular temperature, either
a dead body,
drugs, or special kind of contraband equipment. They'll be like, these explosives need to be 71.35.
Yes. If I'm gonna cook meth, it needs to be exactly 67.3 degrees in this room.
So now, if
otherwise the whole
into someone's house, exactly. So if you walk into someone's house and they've got a hyper specific one, be like,
yeah.
What's your actual job?
So you've never touched the thermostat ever, Erics?
I can't. That doesn't make sense to me. You've never adjusted the thermostat
a single time.
Not really. No, not like. I mean, I live at home with the family, so I don't really a lot of time mess with that stuff anyway. When I go to hotels, I might be like, oh, I'm gonna tweak this, but then there's normally always a digital dial, so I'm just I like to have things and it have to be certain numbers. It's same as volume. I won't do a 21. It has to be 20, or it have to be 25.
Right.
I couldn't go for 23 or 22 because that's not right.
So yours still has a dial, with the spring inside. There's.
Do you know? Do you know what it looks like?
I don't think so.
No idea. That's not my job.
Do you know where it is? If you had to go change
to
it,
adjust the temperature for me. When you're done feeding me grapes, please make it just a bit cooler.
Oh dear! No, we don't have a clicky one. It's a little just a circle, and then you see a digital number. So I've never actually had to be where.
Oh, there's a digital number in there. You just choose to ignore it.
Yeah.
I don't give a fuck what you say, Honeywell.
That would suck, man, because 70 degrees is too cold in my house.
Yeah.
75, way too hot in my house.
Oh.
So it's gonna have to be 73.
Ooh, that's a problem.
I know. Yeah.
My wife likes to sleep in no warmer than like 62.
Whoa, that's chilly.
Yeah, it is frigid.
That's cold. Secretagent in chat. Secretagent in chat said that each jump is in Celsius is 1.8 degrees in Fahrenheit. So there you go.
Oh, okay. So is that linear? That's a linear scale?
I believe so. Yeah.
Like if you count from 0 Celsius and 0 Fahrenheit, you can count 1.8 Fahrenheit for every degree Celsius?
For every degree of Celsius, you're increasing or decreasing 1.8 of Fahrenheit.
1.8 Fahrenheit.
Wherever you're at in the
Yes.
Because that doesn't seem to line up from 0. Well, is 0 in a different spot?
Yes.
Yeah, it would be because 32 is 0 for you. Okay, yeah.
You know, last on the Thursday show, it was DCP crumbling over ice cream, and now we're crumbling over Fahrenheit and Celsius.
Briar is just now realizing that Celsius is mapped completely different from Fahrenheit.
But some of these will be quite
freezing points and boiling points.
Because like, what does water boil at for you guys?
200 something.
Whoa.
Like 212.
What does water freeze at?
32 degrees.
32.
Oh, that's just weird. That's just weird.
That's what I'm saying. Well, that's why Celsius makes a lot more sense.
You're right.
Yeah, Celsius is ideal. It's just America, you know?
It's like 0.
We tried to switch
cold.
over to Celsius, but our parents were too fucking dumb to figure it out, so we were stuck with Fahrenheit.
You're going to get someone that's not going to know. They're going to go outside and be like, oh, yeah, it's nice 32 outside. That's fine. I'm going to take my water outside. And they'll be like, oh, no. Why am I dead? And I'm like, frozen.
This is like a dad podcast. Talk about thermostats.
Talking about the weather.
Yeah, weather.
Biking. How fast you need to go to be cool as an old man on your bike.
Yeah. All right. To be fair, so people know, I brought this up about how I think summertime is the perfect time to bike because it's warm enough to where when you get cooking, you're cooling yourself down from all the wind of going fast on the bike. Where if you do it in like springtime, it's too cold, man. You got to bundle up. I don't want to wear a jacket just because I'm biking. Anyways, that's my spiel.
I feel like this is really a personal preference thing.
Hey,
I don't mind wearing a jacket. I'm okay. I'm pro jacket.
It depends, but like I feel like you got to bundle up. You know, I don't want to like go full bundle.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
Or you embrace the Wim Hof way and you just embrace the cold, and then you just like learn to breathe in the cold, and then you go out and just cycle on your pants. Did anyone watch the documentary where like he like trained people to like walk up the Alps in their underwear in the snow?
I did not.
It's really interesting. It's really interesting. Like he's the guy like people have probably heard of him before, but he's like the breathing guy who's all about like the cold showers and like using the breath. And there's actually like a lot of like scientific studies behind him. Like I know I'm going off on a completely non-gaming tangent, but it's really interesting because like he's you know, like actually has this ability to like control aspects of his body where like they've run tests where they've like injected him with viruses and stuff, and he's actually been able to like suppress that stuff. But yeah, he actually does these documentaries where he takes people that they've never done it before, and he trains them for like a couple of weeks to in like cold exposure, like gradual, and then like eventually, literally just in sandals and boxer shorts, they walk up snowy mountains. And because they're able to kind of control their body temperature through breathing and stuff, they're actually able to do it and not get hypothermia and stuff. So it's really
wow,
that's crazy.
I should take that class.
Yeah.
How sure are we this isn't a scam?
Yeah,
it's definitely there's definitely many scientific studies. He's
okay.
yeah.
You gotta ask. You know,
it's true.
Yeah.
You know,
you want to make sure they say it's not a cult.
This is a talking about scams would be a good segue into an email I received.
Do tell.
I received an email request for collaboration.
Okay. Ooh.
And they are from the Marvel GameFi project. I'm like, oh, a Marvel project? Okay, I don't know what GameFi means, but let's check it out. So they sent me like there was initial email, and then there was like a PDF of all of the information about what it actually is. And this is the first things I read. With the continuous development of blockchain technology, the trend of NFT as a whole, and specifically NFT game, has become the latest and hottest topic, attracting the attention of investors around the world.
Wow.
So I'm reading this thing, and first of all, I'm like, no, absolutely not.
Yeah.
Don't talk to me. But I'm reading it, and it's the first 3D metaverse NFT game of Marvel. Okay.
It's meta. It's metaverse NFTs.
I feel like I'm reading something that was put together by a robot that has studied NFT bros. That's what I feel like I'm reading. But this person was responding to me. Although I did say you sound like a robot when you talk to me, so I'm surprised you answered my question because you talk to me like you're a bot. But anyway.
Okay. What was the response to that? No, I'm totally a human.
No, it was like, I have answered your question. And I'm like, yeah, I know. That's why I said thank you. And that I was surprised because you're a robot.
This person's definitely using Google Translate to communicate.
I think so. Yeah. So I'm reading through this now. All of the art that they have in this kind of PDF package is all official Marvel stuff with the official Marvel actors, right?
Really?
It's all. And I was like, considering the official Marvel Avengers game was not able to use the actor's license, I don't know. I don't know how this works. So I'm reading it. And they're introducing what the game is. Like, you have play to earn, so you can make money by playing this game. And they call it a third-person action adventure game. So I'm like, okay, cool. And then when I go further, they describe it as a 3D turn-based strategic RPG. These are different games, man. They're different games. And then when I was reading it on stream and I read like what the game is about initially when they called it a third-person action adventure game, people were like, wait, this is the plot to Marvel Avengers, the game.
Oh my gosh.
Wow.
So, I don't know what is going on, but they go super in depth.
Like, what are they trying to achieve?
I don't know if they are like legitimately making something and they're going to get sued, or if they're trying to like scam creators to work with them, but I don't know what they get out of that. Yeah. But it's just all doesn't make sense.
Were you like offered to buy into their NFT scheme at any point? Was that what it is?
No, it was, this was funny because they said, we're aware of your credibility and rapport in the market and have been following you for some time. Did you hear me when I said?
Everybody knows about your credibility in the NFT market.
Yes, what? I'm famous.
You're very pro NFT online.
Yeah.
Been following you for a while now.
They wanted to partner regarding the promotion. So I assume that they pay you to promote whatever this is in a YouTube video or something.
In metabucks.
And maybe that's a scam. They're trying to get as many people as possible to promote this game that's ultimately not actually a game. Yeah, the heroes are the NFTs. So they have different stats on them: durability, attack, defense, speed, energy, agility. And all of the NFTs have different stats.
This sounds like official Square Enix to me. This is the direction they're heading.
This is true.
Marvel's Avengers 2. Watts has got the early news on it.
And they have the team members. So I don't know if any of these people have like tweeted about being a part of this project, but they have like people with their names, with their faces, and with their title of what they're doing on the game. And then they have their investors, which is like CoinGecko, CoinMarketCap, PancakeSwap, all like crypto stuff are the partners.
None of that sounds familiar to me.
No. I emailed them and asked, could I ask, do you have the copyright license to use Marvel, and do you have permission from the actors to use their likeness in your game? And they responded with, our project has obtained the POA from Marvel Studio.
POA, what's that mean?
I believe it means power of attorney. And when I looked at POA copyright, apparently it's a thing, but I don't understand it at all.
Huh.
It don't make any sense to me. But it's yeah, I really don't know. I was like,
this sounds legit to me, Watts. I don't know what you're concerned about here.
Yeah, you should get those metabucks. Pay to earn.
Or just like right click, save the image as the NFT, and they were like, well, we've got it now.
Yeah, got
them. Couldn't possibly steal this, but it's
the NFT bros wouldn't steer you wrong. They're pretty
guys. Oh my god, it's just reading this was the worst thing I've ever read in my life. It's
my
so
favorite
bad.
one on those emails is always we are big fans of your channel. We've checked all of your content, and we think this would be a great fit for you.
Then they misspell your name.
Yeah, it'll be that, but then they'll be like, oh, we think it's a great fit for you. And I'm like, so you're big fans of my channel. You think this sports game is going to be a great fit for me. Where's the last time I did a sports video? They'll be like, yes.
At least you get games. I get like sunglasses.
Yeah.
I get like Japanese pipes.
Sunglasses.
I could do with some sunglasses.
Yeah, they want to sell me piping.
Okay.
I don't know why.
My father-in-law was a professional pipe jacker.
No, it's probably your fault.
Pipe jacker?
Yeah, I'll let you figure out what it means.
Look
it up.
I'm not going to Google that. Definitely not.
Pipe jacking too.
This has something to do with laying pipes in the ground for gas.
Oh, it's got something to do with laying pipe.
Oh my goodness!
Right. I'm gonna guess that a pipe jacker. A pipe jacker is someone who attaches some sort of device into the ground with the pipe, and it gets jacked to go through the earth.
That's pretty much it. Yeah.
Is it?
Well, yeah. When you explain it, it sounds much fun though.
I'm just guessing here. All right. There's also NFT bro news, right?
There was, yeah. And also, when we were reading this on stream, GameFi.org is a website that has, it's a Web3 platform for video games. So Marvel GameFi would be where they're going to be hosting it, I guess.
Oh,
so bookmark that.
Disney's going to sue you, man. There is no
100%.
way that you have the rights from Marvel and the rights from all of the actors. There's no way.
Is Disney litigious?
Oh, I think Disney's, pretty chill about these situations.
Yeah.
They're not known to sue.
Known to be chill.
The mouse is easy. Yeah.
Yes. There was more NFT news.
More NFT bro news, right?
Speaking of how everything sucks.
We got to see some early gameplay of a certain doctor's video game. So they unveiled footage for the new shooter. They also unveiled the name, which is Dead Drop. It's supposed to say Dead Drop, of course, but it's only one D. So it's Dia
Did they
Drop.
misspell it, you think?
The D is fused together.
Should we let them know?
Together. It's fused together. Yeah.
Heads up, guys. I think you misspelled it. Just FYI. Happens to everybody. Don't worry about it. No big deal.
And it's kind of hard to know what to think about it right now. I think the doctor has said that his game will blow out anything that's been developed on a COD engine, so it's going to be better than Call of Duty, look better than Call of Duty. But the footage they've shown is only after 6 months in development, apparently. But people were very like, this looks awful. It was compared to a mobile game.
What is it, like gray boxes and stick figures rocking around?
No, it was like actual footage of a shooter. It was mostly of like a firing range, and then someone showed some of like the area that the game takes place. But it definitely looks jank. There's a reason people don't show games after 6 months.
Yeah,
but
it takes time to
polish.
Right?
The whole deal with the creation of this game and people buying NFTs to be able to be a founder for the game and be involved with making the game is that they're going to get little versions of the game to give feedback on. So you're probably going to be seeing very early versions of this game the whole way through until it's looking a bit better.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm just like, man, I'm telling you, seasoned developers struggle to be able to give good, meaningful feedback with early versions of stuff because you're looking at stuff that sucks. And you have to get past the fact that the frame rate sucks and graphics suck to be able to give feedback on the thing that they need feedback on.
Yeah.
So, I don't know.
Yeah, it does raise an interesting. That's the thing. I do feel like, I mean, it's, even though like it might not look like the greatest thing, and it's obviously like, there's probably like a bunch of ego behind like, what they're trying to do and stuff. But like that to one side, there definitely is. It's an interesting thing trying to be that open. Like it's cool to try it, but it's definitely an interesting thing trying to be that open because when you think about it, most gamers, when you see about how like angry they get about the slightest thing on things online, like most gamers don't know the slightest thing about game design, which is evident based on the way that they speak to developers, based on the way that they try to kind of just talk about things or armchair like developer stuff, right? And it's just like they don't have the capacity, like you said, like they don't have the capacity to be able to look at something like that and be like, cool, yeah, it looks rough right now, but if this is 6 months, like it's gonna look rough. Like I'm surprised it's not grey box right now. It's like grey box is kind of what you would expect. But I feel like most people don't possess the ability to be able to look at something like that and then see beneath that anyway. Like you could give a gamer like a completely polished final game, and they can like say they can give their opinions and like, oh, I like this, I like that, but they don't really know how to give actual actionable feedback. So I think it's quite an, even if like, the actual product doesn't really interest me, I think it's quite interesting that they're trying to be so open, but I just feel like being open with just the general gaming audience, like you're not going to get anything meaningful from like most people. It's just gonna be like, this looks rubbish. Like,
yeah.
So I think it is very interesting. I'm very interested to see how it goes. And to be fair to them, 6 months is not a lot of development time, and like I would say that's fine for 6 months. But I think a lot of the not backlash, but people being like, comes from is that on Twitter, the doctor said, I can take a screenshot right now. It blows anything from Call of Duty out of the water. Wait until next month. And he said this in June. And then July 29th, Robert Bowling, who is one of the original creators of Call of Duty, who is now working on this game with the doctor, he said, I'm bookmarking this tweet to come back on July 29th. So clearly they all thought that what they were going to be showing on July 29th, which is the footage that we've seen, is stuff that's going to really impress people and blow Call of Duty out of the water. So I would say yes, for 6 months, this is really not that bad. It's actually pretty good for 6 months, but it's not as good as all of these tweets that you guys said. It's not that.
Yeah, it looks like a slightly less quality version of Escape from Tarkov.
Yeah.
Which is what they're trying to go for. It's a vertical extraction shooter.
Yeah. It's difficult, right? Because
well, I was gonna say, like, I feel like Call of Duty has upped the bar quite a bit in the past couple of releases. Even though I don't play Call of Duty, like the actual releases and the way those games look, it's got a lot of polish. So to say like you're gonna blow that out of the water after 6 months, and then, I mean, it's obvious to see the smoke and mirrors that have been put up. Be like, this is better than sliced bread. Your sandwiches are gonna be forever different, and then you're like, this is just a sandwich. What are you talking about?
It would be so much better if they just came out and they're like, this is only 6 months of development. Look where we're at.
Yeah.
This game's going to be awesome. Then people would be like, ooh, okay, that's not bad for 6 months.
That's what it is, Watts. It's the messaging behind it.
It is the messaging.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And it's quite
look where that messaging is coming from, though, and that's not really his style.
No, it's true, but
he's a developer now.
It's quite interesting because last thing he is a developer. He also like didn't I'm not really someone that watched him particularly, but didn't like Doc used to be like in the Call of Duty team before, right? And then obviously
level designer.
So he's obviously got experience in this world anyway. And obviously, as you say, like it's not his like brand to be like modest. It's obviously his brand to be like, I'm the best, like this and the other. But like you've got to know that like to put out a tweet that literally says like this is gonna blow things out of the water, like you have to know that's not gonna work. Like, come on, you gotta play these things smart. Like I think there's definitely elements of it. Again, like even if I'm not particularly like a fan of the game or kind of what necessarily he's doing, I definitely think there's cool aspects to being this open throughout the whole process.
Yeah.
But yeah, I feel like if you're gonna do that, you have to really, really be careful with your messaging and guide people and like, explain, because otherwise you're just gonna be a mess.
Well, you just get people calling it out and going, well, you were lying that one tweet, so every time something doesn't add up, a credibility is lost on there.
Right.
And like he's an entertainer, but as soon as you start switching from entertainment to game designer, then people start having these expectations of what the past games have been and what games you're talking about and what games you think you're, or what type of development you think you're going to position and put forward. So he's blurring that line, and his brand, I don't think necessarily adds up with being able to do that. It's going to get him in like Cyberpunk 2077 hot water over and over.
Yeah.
He could even be that personality and super cocky and be like, look how awesome our studio is. We did this after 6 months.
Yeah. Actually,
you could be cocky with that.
Absolutely.
And that would fit his brand. But yeah, being like, I can take a screenshot right now and wait till July 29th. And July 29th comes and everyone's like,
Yeah.
I also like, it's interesting because I wonder what like the they kind of like goal, or they're hoping to sort of get out of this, because obviously, I mean, clearly they're making a game from it, right? But it's like, when you think about it, if we go back, say, quite a few years in gaming, back in the day, it used to be the thing where companies would reveal a game. We get trailers for like years and years and years, and like you have like a 2, 3, 4 year marketing campaign, right? Whereas like these days, like these campaigns are becoming very short. It's companies realize like we need to reveal our game, and 6-12 months later, people need to be playing this game, because people are just like, I feel like just the the combination of social media, like TikTok and stuff, people's attention span is just getting so short that like they're just not gonna. So I feel like maybe if the game that you were looking at was like a genre-defining, revolutionary experience we've never seen before, and everyone's like, "This is, I want to see every step of the way." But like, let's be honest. I mean, okay, I'm not exactly the target audience. I'm not a shooter fan, but like, it's a shooter, right? Like, cool, it might do some new things, but it's a shooter. It's like, who really wants to watch the slow development process of the shooter and feedback on it loads of times to the point where it comes out a year, 2 years later, and they're like, "Cool, we've seen this in so many iterations. By now, a bunch of really polished shooters have already come out." Like, are you actually really going to be that invested? Like, I mean, obviously his fan base will be. They'll be like, "Oh, this is what Doc is building. Like, we want to do that around that." But I just feel like, there's definitely a lot of like cool ideas behind it. But like, what do you
a lot of leaps.
Really like? Yeah, right? You better just go silent and just be like, "Cool guys, we made a game." Like, bam.
Yeah, but they got us, the NFTs, man. The NFTs about right now. Selling the NFTs right now. Get in on the ground floor. Become a developer.
That's actually a good point, Hefty, because like when people are doing like Kickstarter campaigns, if you are part of the Kickstarter, you get updates about development all the time, and you get to play builds like the whole way pretty much. And I guess that's essentially what they're doing, but instead of doing a Kickstarter, you buy an NFT and then
you're part of the club.
You can get in. You're part of the club.
Yeah.
How about
it's all about, you know what? It's all about making cults. That's what today's world is. It's about creating little cults so people will buy your stuff because they're loyal to the juice.
Yeah. Loyal to the juice. It's the episode title.
This is true. Sounds some kind of like bodybuilder steroid thing.
Yeah, loyal to the juice, bro.
Exactly. Speaking of steroids and bodybuilders, I got a ridiculous Gundam purchase the other day.
Oh,
look at this.
Oh, I saw that on Twitter. That is amazing.
What is going on there? What's happening there?
It's a bodybuilder Gundam.
That is amazing. He's on surfing on a shield.
Yeah, the Gundam shield. There you have it.
He's loyal to the juice.
He's definitely loyal to the juice.
Sun up, sun down. Got to get them gains, bro.
Exactly.
Well, that's an interesting walk through NFT land at the moment.
Yeah, we'll see how it goes.
Did you guys hear that Blizzard wants to charge $45 for skins in Overwatch 2?
Or for like, as in a pack of skins or an individual skin?
I think an individual skin.
What the hell?
That's a lot of money. Do people know that's a lot of money? That's a lot of money.
That is a lot of money. That was reported over on Kotaku. They sent out a survey asking what the maximum people would spend on a skin was, with $45 being like the high end.
We're not talking 45 Fahrenheit to Celsius right now. We're talking dollars.
No, there's no conversion there. I do wonder, maybe they're feeling it because like loot boxes, I mean, they were, I think, right in there with like the popularization of loot boxes, right? Overwatch was. And I wonder, like, they're feeling like they're seeing legislation coming down that people not too happy with what loot boxes are doing and how that's affecting people negatively. What's that?
So cash grab?
Well,
yeah.
I
guess they're probably looking at they're probably looking to like Fortnite as like the battle pass model, right? Where they're just like, okay, we can't get away with loot box anymore. They're like, but people on Fortnite are just spending bungo bucks on skins. So like, what can we get away with? Because am I correct in saying that Overwatch 2 is going to be free to play?
I don't know.
The multiplayer is, yeah.
Okay, right. That's probably the angle they want to go, right? They're like, cool, we can just get people to just download it, sell them a skin for like as much as we possibly can, and then because people like this thing, like the Overwatch skins, like loot boxes or not, like the Overwatch skins were really cool and they sold like hotcakes, right? So if they just took
Yeah.
them out of the loot boxes and just like guaranteed said, here's the Zarya skin you want, people are just gonna drop stacks of cash on that.
Yeah, well, there's a loot or like an RNG factor, and then you would get coins, and then eventually you could buy whatever skin you were missing because you weren't RNG wasn't hitting. So that was part of it, and also you earned it by rank ups as well, like a pull at the box. So like the money was kind of shortcutting all that stuff, and now they're just like, just give us money.
Yeah,
Do we even need to give you a game anymore? Can you just give us the money?
Yeah.
Like,
well, this was what people were concerned about. So the survey went out and it asked users if they're willing to pay $45 US for a mythic skin, which is the highest level skin, where I'm sure it changes a bunch of things. $25 for a legendary skin and $30 US for a legendary bundle. So people were like, I don't know, because are you just trying to get a money? You're trying to have us sink money into your game and then give us infrequent updates again, which is what happened with Overwatch. And what people were upset about. There were just no actual game updates, but they were making skins for every event.
Because they're making Overwatch 2.
Yeah.
Which looks like Overwatch 1.
It's true.
It's literally Overwatch 1.
Of
of course it's updated and stuff, but like it's not a new game. The PvE was going to be like the new game and the thing that I think a lot of people were excited about, because it was like, oh, I get to play Overwatch PvE with all these cool characters, because a lot of people love the characters, they just don't love the PvP. But they're not launching it now with the PvP.
So weird. With weird
it's
mixed
really,
messaging.
It's very weird.
I also feel like it's kind of like a weird, like, waste of time, because I get what you said. Like, I mean, some people like the characters, but they don't like the PvP. But it's kind of that weird thing where like they're probably creating it for a really, really small subset of people who will play the PvE for like a little bit and then fall off. It's like the inverse to like Fortnite, right? They started with the PvE mode and they were like, all right, Battle Royale is so big, screw this PvE mode. We're just going full in. And it's like the people that are ultimately exactly right. Like the people that are going to ultimately like spend long term. Like you're not going to see like someone buying 50 million skins continually for PvE, but they'll probably do that for PvP because they're playing like rank matches and stuff. So, I mean, I'm all for like having more content. I'm all for having like that kind of single player friendly stuff. But it's just like I feel like they're gonna probably do that thing and be like, oh, there's not really much money in the PvE, so we pulled the plug on it and just play PvP, guys.
Possible.
Yeah.
And I think they like responded slightly to the survey, and they said that the survey is entirely intended to better understand player preferences for the different types of Overwatch 2 cosmetics. Prices displayed on the survey are random, but I'm like, but if
we
someone
just wanted
said,
to know if we could get away with it.
That's the thing. If a bunch of people said, yes, I would pay $45 for a skin, then of course you're going to put out a skin for $45 because people are going to pay for it. So why wouldn't you?
The company who made Diablo Immortal is definitely going to put out a $45 skin.
This is true.
That's all I think about. I'm like, okay, Diablo Immortal, how much is that going to affect and spread into everything that Blizzard is making now?
They made $100 million in like a month off of that game.
Crazy. You know what really annoys me? Okay, sorry.
No, I was just saying that they're clearly going to apply that to everything.
Yeah.
Some form of
it's
it.
really annoying with the like because I keep seeing like random Diablo Immortal things pop up on my timeline because I see like people still playing and stuff. I really wish they had done that right, because this is just to kind of go back to it. But like when I played the beta for it before they did all the monetization stuff, it was like it generally was quite fun. It played well. Like for a phone game, I was like, it actually played really well. I wish they'd actually done it right, because I'm like, I keep seeing people like with their geared up characters. I'm like, this is kind of cool. And I'm like, I'm not going to this. This is just like you're gonna try and rinse my wallet. But it's just annoying because it's just like Like
I feel the same way.
Done something cool.
I feel the same way. Like I enjoyed that formula of the game, and then I'm like, I want to play it. And then I see the monetization. I'm like, I'm staying away from that garbage. But then I see stuff. I'm like, so like I want to download it, but I'm not. I'm not gonna do it.
That's the thing. It's like you could go into it and be like, oh yeah, I'm just gonna download it and just like completely play it and like just the free to play angle, or just like not touch that stuff. It's like, yeah, but still, like you're just basically playing the game knowing that you're gonna have a balked experience because you're not willing to like spend some money on it. It's like, I really don't want to do that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I get when things are free, you have to make money, but $45 for one skin is very, very expensive.
That sounds out of touch.
Even 30 is really expensive. I was saying said in chat that currently in League of Legends they released all these new skins, and the most expensive one that you can get right now is about $12, and that is the most expensive one, which is still $12 is a lot of money too.
Mm-hmm.
I bought a headlight repair kit for $13 and spent 30 minutes at the store trying to return it while they couldn't figure out their like refund system on the computer. And at the end of it, I'm like, well, that was a lot, but $13 is $13. You know what I'm saying? Like, I still want that $13. Like, it's not no money.
No.
And $45 will get you like 2 indie games.
And also, like, they're a company that have like clearly made a lot of money. Like, surely you also realize that like if you sell the skins cheaper, people are just gonna buy more skins. Like, you sell someone one $45 skin, like, cool. You might buy like the Lucio like mythic skin, but then most people that are like, oh, the kids that are playing it that need to ask their parents if they can use their credit card, they might give them one $45 skin and be like, yeah, that's you for the next month. But then if you're like, oh yeah, you know, mom, dad, can I have a $10 skin? Like, yeah, you can have that. And they're like, oh, it was only $10 last week. Like, we'll send it, we'll get another skin. And before you know it, they bought like 4 skins. They would have spent $45 without realizing they spent $45 by selling the cheaper skins anyway. Like, they really are just like going full scale. It's always like if you look at the way that the business has shifted, like suddenly, I don't know, like the board of directors have just taken over. We're like, the money men are making all the decisions now, and like $45 skins,
like, right?
Diablo Immortal,
like,
it's just like, it's weird.
Yeah,
like the suits are in charge, not the creators, right?
Dude, that's the experience I get from it. It's like it's a squeeze. It's a money squeeze. I don't see articles about how like game developers are making tons of money. You know, like the artist who made that skin is like, you know, just flush with cash. Like
one bedroom studio. And...
Yeah, exactly. They're like barely making ends meet or something, and then Blizzard's like raking in all this money that they're just paying to executives and shareholders. So it's like that's why I think that's probably the biggest thing that makes me go, like, why am I gonna want to fund
it's almost like
that side of the business, you know?
It's almost like they're sort of doing it like an emergency thing where, like, because you know there's been like so much bad press around Blizzard. Maybe they're like the shareholders like, how much longer is this company actually going to be around? Let's just try and rinse as much cash as possible quickly.
Good point.
So if it goes down the pan, we can still retire on our island. Let's go.
Microsoft's about to buy us out anyway, so let's fucking get what we can out of this.
Like, let's sell $45 skins.
Pedal to the metal.
We'll spell $100 million on Diablo Immortal. Cool. We can retire. It's gone down the pan. Like, come on,
just
man.
Kill them all and let Phil Spencer fucking sort them out.
Phil Spencer just rocking like Terminator.
Hey, we're talking about Diablo Immortal. There was another thing that happened for Blizzard.
Oh no!
So a YouTuber, spent $100,000 on Diablo Immortal. Pretty much like right when the game launched. Yes, $100,000. Yes.
What the hell?
But now he cannot match with other players because he went into PvP and he destroyed everyone because he's so strong because he has $100,000 worth on his character that he cannot get into any match.
It's not pay to win, guys.
Not pay to win.
It's not pay to win.
He's just lucky.
They're just like, oh well, all the whales play with other whales, so you know it's not pay to win. So
all the other people who spent $100,000.
So he literally can't match with anyone because he's too high level.
Yes, he cannot match with anyone because he's won so much that they cannot match him with like anyone. So currently there's an end game event happening in the game, or there's a quest that you follow, and one of the quest steps is to do PvP. So he cannot participate in this event because he can't PvP because he can't find a match.
Start a new character and only spend $25,000. You'll be fine.
Yeah. Maybe just $1,000. Come on.
Yeah.
What's he complaining about?
What's the problem?
Clearly more people need to spend £100,000.
It's true. It's true. He sat in a queue for 48 and 72 hours to see if he could get a match, and nope.
No other whales. Imagine that.
Nope.
Why
no one else is playing.
Would there be no one else who spent $100,000 playing? Weird.
It's crazy. Also, like, I mean, look, right? Clearly, he's been very successful if he could afford to spend $100,000 on like Diablo Immortal. But like, even if you have that much money, I wouldn't want to sit in a queue for like an hour. If I have to sit in the queue for an hour, I get annoyed. Like when I was trying to play Lost Ark and the game first came out and I had to put a queue for an hour, I'm already getting impatient. Like 48 hours, 72 hours, do you not have like anything better to do?
If I have to sit in a queue for an hour to play a game, I can 100% guarantee you that even if I leave that game running and like that queue sits there for an hour, I will not be sitting there when that hour is up, when I finally get into the game. I won't. Yeah. Like, there's no way I have that kind of patience. Even if I am like zoned in. Like, I'm gonna
imagine
fuck off.
If you instead took that $100,000 and then sit for 72 hours, went off on like a nice holiday. That'd be great.
That's a real nice holiday. $100,000 holiday.
Exactly.
Yeah.
We're talking like private island. We're talking like Epstein Island kind of holiday.
Exactly. Exactly.
Oh man, that's crazy. All right, you'd think that Blizzard would give him special treatment for funding part of the program to make that game,
right? Is he an investor now?
Yeah, he's like an angel investor at this point.
They're just like, you pay to win, but you can't pay to win too much.
Yeah,
but we want you to pay to win, but not too much. Okay.
I wonder
when they have like.
Okay. I wonder if they considered people spending that much money on the program. Like if
I'm sure they did.
Did you think? But like,
yeah, there are. I mean, these games are built around that activity, right? Like they're funded by like hooking the whales, right?
Yeah, but $100,000. Like I could see 1,000, 20,000. $100,000 is like approaching
something reasonable, like 20,000. I could see that.
Well, even so, 20. There's like gambling money, but then there's like you're dropping house payments or houses. Like these are real world assets.
He's a millennium. That's not even close to housing payment for him.
You know what I'm saying? It's a house. It's a down payment. Is what it is.
It is a down payment. Yeah, you can down pay that.
Yeah, that's where that's where the NFT bros you step in and get these things. If you spend $100,000 on our microtransactions, you get mint yourself an NFT and become an investor.
Yep.
Exactly.
That's how it works.
That's how it works.
I don't really feel. Do you guys feel bad for this guy? I don't feel bad for him.
I don't feel bad for him. I just think that Blizzard hasn't really thought through what they're doing there.
I mean, they made $100,000 off of this dude. I think they're feeling pretty good about it.
Well, he was apparently going to ask for a refund because he literally can't play the game now.
Wow. See, this is what I'm talking about. Did they consider like this level of people dropping transactions and then also it backfiring and like they got a refund $100,000 worth of?
Can he charge that back?
Yeah, charge back $100,000. Hello, American Express. I want to charge back all of these.
This was a mistake.
Apparently, they said that they'll fix it in a few weeks.
Oh, really?
So they're just going to let him matchmake with anyone. Will be my guess. Just like set him free. Set him free to the wolves.
Be like he's paid $100,000. Let him beat anyone that he wants because he's paid to win.
Yeah,
but it's not pay to win though. But let's let him.
I think this is the thing that annoys me the most about Blizzard is that they're so dishonest about what they're trying to do. Like with the survey thing, right? Where they're like, "Oh, these are just, this isn't actually a price. We're just seeing what people are willing to do." And it's like, yeah, but if you're just honest, like, hey, if people were fine with $45 skins, of course we're going to sell $45 skins. We're a business. It's free to play. We make money. But they're just always dancing around it. Like, it's not pay to win. You're not paying for armor. You're paying for gems. You're not paying for...
It's literally some boardroom exec smoking a big cigar and like a dark, shadowy, like wood table, laughing with each decision being made,
Is he a cat in this fantasy? I want him to be a cat.
I think there's a cat somewhere.
A fat cat.
Just smoking a huge cigar.
Purple suit.
Anything. Just laughing, it's... Oh, man.
I mean, there's definitely
because I love Vicarious Visions, and I know a lot of developers that work there, or a couple of developers that work there, and I'm pissed that they got absorbed into this bullshit.
Yeah. It's annoying though because you see that a lot in like these big companies where you just like the people that are ultimately like making the decisions don't play the games, don't play games in general. I'm not trying to be like elitist, like you have to be like playing games like 50 million hours a week and like that. But it's like some you know some of the people you look at like some of the games like over the past sort of decade that have had like ridiculous problems. Or I mean, again, like even like Anthem and stuff, or like some of those like when there was like the massive surge of so many companies trying to make looter shooters, and they were all just like horrendous. And it's just like the people that are making these decisions just don't play the games the way that they are trying to create them, and it's just like you can't make these, like okay, there needs to be like a balance point where someone's gonna like pull the trigger for like money being spent, but like if they're not playing the games, you're never gonna make those right calls, and they just don't care. They're just like, cool, we'll just pull off these stupid decisions.
Not the decision to make the game was not made from a creative space.
No.
It was made from a financial decision.
And all the creative people just have to sit there and just like grit their teeth, and it's like, well, we were trying to make a cool thing, but unfortunately we have no say.
Yeah.
And they'll be the one that gets the trouble for it as well.
It would have been better if they just put out a survey where you could type in the max amount you'd be willing to spend on a skin. Then you're not saying any price. It's just what's the absolute max for like the best skin in the world.
You're right, Watts. Yeah. That would have been better.
I will pay fuck yourself for the skin.
I'll pay £2.50 and a packet of crisps. Once a year.
Oh man.
It definitely helps. It definitely does help to play the game that you're working on, for sure. It's it's very, very difficult to make decisions on a game if you don't play it.
Yes, 100%.
Very difficult.
Yeah.
It's like if you're manufacturing,
especially if it's a game that's already out that has a community.
Right. It's like if you're manufacturing cars but you never drive. You're like, I don't touch the things I make. Never.
Why gay sex works so well. You know exactly how to play the game.
It's like how it's like with Anthem as well, right? That was the same kind of thing. It's like where there was that there was always the kind of discussion of how, like all the kind of creative differences in the team, and other people that were like making decisions didn't really play Endgame the way that they were trying to create it. So they were trying to create this Endgame system, but the people that were making decisions don't play Endgame like that. So it's like it's no wonder it just didn't work. It was like, strange.
It's not great. You talk to, I've known developers on like a bunch of different games, and it's like if someone isn't actively working in the PvP section of a game, but they play PvP, they will tend to have better ideas as a developer how to make the PvP segment of the game better than the person who's on the PvP team who like doesn't play PvP. Because what reference do you have? All you have is like, I guess, the reference of someone who doesn't play very much of these types of games, and you can try and entice people like you to play the game, but that's a very small group of people.
Is this oddly linking back to Dr. Disrespect and his reason for making a game and being like, he's a gamer?
He's a gamer.
He's a gamer.
They're doing it their way. They're doing it their way. Letting all their, what do they call them? They call them something. They have a name for the NFT founders. No, they're called something.
2 times?
All the people with all those people with those profile pictures.
The doctors.
Like, this is for you. We're doing it our way. Gamers unite. Make the game. It's like, okay.
I do find it really funny. I think this is partially why that's happening in addition to the NFT stuff. But like, some of the seed of that is the antithesis of the whole Blizzard experience and Activision experience.
It'll be very interesting.
Yeah, it is a very interesting landscape and how that's unfolding. It doesn't seem like there is any pushback from microtransactions aside from legislation, like real world, realistic pushback. There's pushback from gamers and people like us saying, "Hey, that sucks for it to be in the game," but it's not affecting the bottom line.
No,
no.
Not if anything, it's
clearly very financially successful.
Yeah, it is clearly working. So where does that go? Where does that lead? Outside of legislation banning it.
Yeah.
And then putting the games,
And then they're like, well, I guess we'll sell a $45 skin instead of loot boxes.
Yeah, you're right. That's where it leads. We already solved this. My bad.
I'll get horse armor, god damn it.
Or battle passes. Battle pass. I mean, they're definitely better than loot boxes. Loot boxes is literally just spending money on a slot machine until you get what you want. So it's definitely better to be able to pay for something outright, but I don't think you need $45 for it.
What if it's going to be a thing where, like, you know, you're in one state on your phone. It's like you can't access that thing. Then you like travel to another country or go over to Nevada. And you're like, suddenly you can have all these loot boxes in this game that you didn't have access to. Or you VPN into the Nevada IP address.
No, that's the next step. It'll be the YouTubers traveling to Arizona to spend money on loot boxes.
Yeah.
Epic RG.
Epic Desert Haul.
Oh my goodness.
Yes, Epic Desert Haul. I love that.
The future. Anything else this week?
There is a Pokemon there's a Pokemon stream happening on Wednesday where they'll supposedly be speaking about some of their new stuff. So obviously, given that Pokemon Scarlet and Violet is launching in November this year, I guess we'll see some new stuff for that.
New
then
new iPhones and new Pokemons.
Exactly. And there is not this week. Is it the week? Isn't it the week after? Has anyone seen the game Cursed to Golf? That's a little like indie game coming out.
Yes, I did see that.
I have.
Yeah,
fun.
It looks super cool. Yeah, it's coming out. It is it's basically like a side-scrolling golf roguelite where you play the character who has basically been sent to. I think he's like died, and in order to kind of go back to the land of the living, he needs to play some rounds of golf. And you basically it's like in a very sort of similar manner to sort of Golf Story, where it's like kind of fun golf. It's not like a boring golf game. I mean, you know, to anyone that likes golf, I apologize.
Briar.
I definitely would rather watch paint dry. I mean, I used to play golf, to be fair, but it's one of those cool golf games. This one's a side-scrolling one, and if you don't complete the course in under par, then much like in a roguelike thing, you basically die and you have to go back to the beginning and then start again.
I love this. Oh my god,
yeah.
I want to play with
this. This looks really good.
It's got
That's
really,
a very
really cool.
unique idea.
It looks so good too. I love the graphics.
Yeah. Like, well, the 2D golf thing, I really like these type of games. So I did not know about this. I'm looking forward to this.
It's like a mix between like Worms and golf and like a platform.
Yeah.
And I feel like 2D golf like would be better for me because I feel like anytime I've played like golf games where you have to contend with like the up, down, the left, right, the wind, it's too much. I can do side scrolling.
Just eliminate an entire D.
Exactly. Right. I just one D is it.
Yeah, I don't want to actually play golf.
Just want 2D around here.
Exactly.
Yeah. This looks fun. Yeah. So 18th, August 18th.
August 18th. Yeah.
And it's on Steam, which means it's gonna play on the Steam Deck.
Yes.
Oh, this is gonna be perfect. Why is
very
18th got to be so far away?
Yeah, that is pretty far. I mean,
that
August,
the week we're taking vacation, or is that the?
Actually, next week we're gonna be off.
Next week. Yes, we'll talk about that.
Yeah. But
did I spill the beans?
You spilled it.
How dare you?
You
spoiled it.
The coffee beans are everywhere.
Cult of Lamb comes out next Thursday is the official release. You're gonna start seeing previews this week.
Oh yes.
But it officially launches next week. Thymesia is out on the 18th as well. I think people have early access to that game, and I've heard that they made a ton of changes. Again, I don't know how much they changed because they're gonna have to change just about everything with their combat. Not everything, just it's pretty. I think it was not too difficult to implement the fixes that needed to happen. Animation canceling, no delay when you dodge, and then you should be in a much better place. So we'll see.
Did you play a demo of that or something?
I played the demo. Yeah, when the demo came out, I played the demo.
Yeah, and you said it was rough, right?
Yeah, very disappointed. Everyone said that. I watched so many videos, and they're just like, combat's just clunky, man.
Yeah, I feel like August is basically Cult of the Lamb for me, and now this game.
Yeah,
I didn't have Thymesia on the radar because you said, you know, like your experience wasn't that great with the. I mean, if they do some good fixes, then I'd be willing to check it out.
But, yeah. I was super into just the way that it looks. I love that you're, you know, like this plague doctor, and you're using plague weapons, and you have a bunch of different weapons that you can use, and the combat by hearing about the combat sounded really fun because it's a super fast-paced, in-your-face, reacting, at this in a split second to what you need to do to counter your enemies. But without animation canceling, you can't do that. You can't react on a dime if you can't cancel the animation. So it was really weird in that they went for this very fast-paced, in-your-face style, but you had to play it like a very slow Dark Souls. Like hit twice and then wait, dodge because you couldn't cancel your animation.
That sounds like
it. If they've made that change, it can work.
Oh, okay, yeah.
We'll see.
Yeah, then aside from that, we got the Destiny announcement, and then that's kind of what August is looking like.
Yeah, that's what August looks like for me. I'm very excited about Cult of Lamb. That game is super well polished, and they sent one of the best press kits I've ever seen.
Yeah,
really? Better than the katana?
It was like a press kit.
Oh, okay.
They sent so every single enemy, every single follower, ability, weapon, upgrade, they had cut out PNGs for all of it. So if you're making a YouTube thumbnail, you don't have to do anything. You can just, it's already all there for you. And they created overlays that you can use for your stream. They created everything. And I opened it up and I was like, Jesus. You don't have to, if you want to create stuff on Cult of Lamb, you don't have to do anything other than play the game and make your video. All of that stuff is taken care of.
They ain't messing around.
Nice.
Yeah, I was really impressed.
I feel like Devolver is aware. They're really tapped into the creator market and understanding how important that stuff is. That's nice. It's nice to see.
Yeah, it's awesome.
Yeah. Cool. Well, yeah. So we are planning on taking next week off. So the week of the 11th, right, or the 9th, or whatever, we'll be taking off SideQuest and also DCP Live, and then back for the stuff that's happening.
It's about to get crazy.
About to get crazy.
It is, yeah. August has a lot of stuff in it. We're gonna have a new Destiny drop, new trailer, new season, new showcase. It's gonna be pretty busy.
Yeah, the next big expansion, showing all that stuff. Well, at least we think. I don't know for sure. Anything also, is September got some good stuff, or is it shy of what we are?
I feel like there probably is something in September, but I can't actually remember what is. Let's have a quick recap.
This year was front loaded for sure.
It was.
This holiday season is not going to be like a top 10 holiday season, but this year is pretty good. But it was just front loaded.
The Last of Us Part 1 on PS5.
True. Splatoon 3 is in September, supposedly still. Should be cool. And then
Warhammer Dark Tide. People like that. That's coming out September 13th. Yeah, there's not a lot in September.
No, even to be honest, the rest of the year is pretty quiet. You got, current anyway. You've got, even in October, you've got Marvel Midnight Suns, Overwatch 2, supposedly Mario Rabbids and stuff. But and then things like Gotham Knights. But I feel like some of these ones are just there aren't really any big hitters. Maybe in the same sense. Maybe it depends on what you enjoy and stuff. But yeah, I feel like a lot of those have been pushed out. So
there's no Elden Ring expansion.
Oh, potentially. There are obviously still the rumors going around. There was a DLC leaks the other day, the Barbarians of the Badlands or something like that. I think it was called.
Was that a new? It's a new leak.
Is that a new leak?
Yeah,
new leak.
I think that was the one. Yeah. And people are still thinking based on the timeline for things like Dark Souls 3 and Bloodborne, they're thinking November, December could be potentially viable, but given the scale of the game, it could also be a Q1 next year. But
wow.
Yeah.
If that were to
actually
hope
it's
happen.
Not December. Because otherwise I won't have a holiday. I'm we're back in Elden Ring. By that time I should probably make sure I've defeated the final boss, which I still haven't done yet.
You haven't?
Oh my goodness.
Oh man. Now you have to start a brand new playthrough. Start over. Gotta start over. Mage build.
What'd you do? 2 videos? Come on.
Yeah, basically. Just 2 videos. Yeah. I'm still recovering. I still haven't played a single game since then. I mean, apart from for myself. That's why I'm looking forward to Curse to Golf. I'm just gonna play a game myself.
Yeah, that'll be really nice.
I need to restore my gaming.
I'm still recovering from the Elden Ring Half-Life. Like I noticed, like I try to sit down for other longer games, and it's still difficult for the way I experience or what's in my mind thinking about Elden Ring and like the experience I had versus some of the one-offs. So I really enjoyed Stray and all that, but
yeah, Stray is actually a pretty good game because it's completely different. It's pretty short. Actually, we played it on the big TV with Bella around.
Nice.
And what did Bella do?
She has never been so interested in something in her life.
No,
really.
She was just like intensely watching the television on the couch. And every time the cat would kind of do something, she'd like inch forward a little bit, like, "What's gonna happen? Oh no!" It was amazing. So I think that's gonna be my weekend thing. I'm just gonna turn Stray on for a little bit. I'm gonna run around and let Bella watch it. She loved it.
Oh, Stray needs a cat mode where it plays itself.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
That'd be real cool.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to load up a Let's Play on YouTube for her.
Yeah.
In the day. Let her hang out watching a Let's Play.
Just put it on loop.
I don't know how you guys feel about leaks, but there were a lot of leaks for Wolong Fallen Dynasty.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
Massive leaks. I assume it's real. It's hard to say, but right after, well, not right after the leak came out, but shortly after the leak came out, I believe they put out a tweet kind of going over a few things, which makes me feel like maybe the leak is correct. But so this is the game that is Neo in Japan, China.
Okay.
Neo in Japan was Neo. Neo in China. Melee combat is based on 5 elements: wood, water, fire, metal, earth. 5 elements are 5 different combat styles. So, for example, the fire style will make you aggressive, water style focus on counterattacks, and earth style focuses on defense. Switching styles at a specific point will raise your morale, which is like the key flux in Neo. And they talk about the whole morale system as well. And they did, in the tweet, they did say new morale system. So I think the leak is probably pretty correct. Defense is the core mechanic. You can cancel other moves with defense for attack defense transition. Very smooth, feels like you're playing a kung fu movie, which I appreciate.
That sounds cool.
Different weapons have different counter moves, some of which can kill normal enemies in one hit. The morale system is another core system where the more enemies you kill, the more successful reflections and counterattacks you have. So the more the morale bar rises, and higher morale will fear enemies on the field. So they'll cower, they'll run away, so you can clear out an area a bit faster. And it can also work on bosses, but you have to have super high morale for it to work on a boss. So they're kind of aiming to do this thing where you go out and you kill a bunch of dudes and you counterattack a bunch and then you go to the boss. So it's kind of like a little prep you can do, which is kind of like how they're doing like an easy mode, to speak. Like if you want to just go in and fight the boss and you don't care what your morale is and you can handle that, that's great. If you're someone who needs a bit more help, you can go and get more morale and you can go into the boss fight and it's easier.
That's cool.
That's kind of their way of doing a different mode without doing a different mode.
That's quite cool.
This game looks great.
It sounds like it's going to be really cool, and it's considering that they're focusing on counterattacking and deflecting and stuff, it makes me feel like maybe they have some Sekiro influence going on there. Maybe.
Yeah, maybe.
Because also, you can jump to dodge attacks and jump on their head, which is what you could do in Sekiro. You could jump to dodge, jump on the head. So it's it's very, very similar. But then they go into a bunch of other leaks that I didn't read because it's like the setting, the bosses, like what the bosses do. Like the combat system and the morale system, I'm like, I can learn about that. That just gets me excited. But I don't want to know about like
spoiled.
I don't want to know what the bosses do. But they did say that bow also does have a skill tree now, so it's not limited. You can be full on bow if you want to.
Nice.
And they also go into the weapons that you can get, which might be some spoilers that people aren't into.
Yeah, but that's cool. That's exciting.
Really
On
excited.
Steam, it says early 2023, so it's still a ways away.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, and they showed it at the Xbox showcase, which was like everything we're showing is out within a year. So we don't know when, but early next year would be fantastic.
Mm-hmm. It would be. Cool.
Oh,
Well,
also, yeah, the super most wholesome thing I saw was mods for Stray. It was modders taking in requests to make people's cats in Stray.
Oh,
so you could contact
that's
them and
too
go,
much.
"Here's my cat." Yeah, it's really great.
Goodness.
That's pretty good. I like that.
And then the more mods that happen, maybe you don't care about having an exact replica of your cat, but then there's a cat that is very, very similar. And you can play as your cat. Everyone will be able to play with their cat soon.
That's cool.
That was it's the most wholesome gaming thing I've seen in a long time. It's everything around Stray is very, very cute.
Yep.
Mm.
Cool. Is that the episode? I think that's about it for
SideQuest.
Yeah, SideQuest.
Complete.
SideQuest complete. So yeah, next week we'll be off, just to let everyone know. Back the following week for our experiences with I think the golf game also and Cult of Lamb.
Yeah, both should be out.
Yeah, both will be out by the time we come
back. Maybe
back.
not the golf game.
The golf game will be out for our Monday show because it comes out on that Thursday. But we will be able to talk about Cult of Lamb on the 15th.
Oh yes.
Which is when we'll be back.
Yep. My bad. Yeah, looking at it. Yep. Cool.
We'll be able to do Cult of Lamb stuff.
It's gonna be fun. All right. Well, thank you very much for tuning in and hanging out. We appreciate it. Shout out to our Patreon members and our Twitch subs for supporting the shows. You guys are awesome. We'll see you in 2 weeks for the next side quest. Bye.
DCP main will be Thursday.
DCP main Thursday.
See you later.
Yeah.
Yep. Bye, everyone.
Thank you so much, everybody. Bye.
Bye.